Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Fornax, and today we're diving into a special episode. This video has been made to support Extra Life. Roy, yes, that Roy, and Rookery, yes, that awesome Rookery, got together and Roy gave $100 for this video to be made, and Rookery picked the topic, which is 5 women in Guild Wars 2 that I admire. So thank you so much, Roy and Rook, for sponsoring this video. Thank you for giving to Extra Life, an amazing charity. So let's jump into it, because I am very much spoilt for choice when it comes to female protagonists in Guild Wars 2. There are many: Cass, Jury, Almora, Glint, Aurene, Javi, the Pale Tree. There are many and varied, fantastic female characters. However, I didn't want to just do 5 of my favourite characters. I wanted to put a spotlight on characters that I want to learn more about, characters that deserve their own expansions, characters that already have their own expansions but could be so much more. So let's dive into it, starting with the obvious, the newest female protagonist anti-hero that has entered the stage, which is of course Paytha. So spoilers ahead if you have not played through Secrets of the Obscure and the additional content that has and is filtering out as we speak. Let's talk about Paytha. So she is a Cryptus. She is a creature of dream, born or manifested in Naos, a realm of dreams. She has kinship with Cyrus and Deimos. If you raid, you will know Deimos and his emotional support Hans. Paytha and her brothers belonged to the House of Nephus. However, houses, ranks, nobility, all these things that are quite common on Tyria are not common to Naos. These are structures that have been inflicted upon the Cryptus, the denizens of Naos, by Eparch, the Midnight King, the Cannibal King, the destroyer of his own realm, who we have, as of the time of writing or talking, we have not encountered yet. So excited to meet him, but excited to see where Paytha goes. Many people have poo-pooed the idea that Paytha could be the next big bad. She could be the final boss of the whole arc of Secrets of the Obscure. I think that that would be an incredible destiny for her, but I also think that I would like to see Paytha become perhaps the guardian of the greater Mist realms, perhaps a guide for the player going forward into multiple expansions into the Mist realms of the universe of Guild Wars 2. If you are unaware, Paytha is a Cryptus, and Cryptus are creatures of dream, and the Cryptus have the ability to enter people's dreams and experience them, and therefore they can experience and have experienced multiple realms, not just Tyria, but all the planes of the gods, perhaps, of other realms that we have never heard of. I mean, we have a very limited knowledge of the Mist realms so far. We know the realms of the gods, we know some of the realms of torment, but nothing really beyond that, and that is a blank canvas for the writers to just go crazy. And I would personally, if she does not turn out to be the awesomest big bad of big bads at the end of the arc of Secrets of the Obscure, I would love for her to become the Madam Web of the Tyrian Mists, a guide, an inciting incident in and of herself for Mist traversal and expansions and stories galore. So honourable really mention to Paytha, who I think is intriguing and beautiful and interesting and dark and sinister and in equal measures, and hopefully there is a great future for her in the franchise, not just a one and done. So fingers crossed for the horny girl. Next up is Lady Wee, or rather Lady Wee and her daughter Valletta, and the Order of Whispers more generally. If you don't know, Lady Wee is the wife of Minister Wee. He is the representative of Rurik in the Crichton Ministry. And there's a huge amount of roleplay and a massive roleplay community around the Crichton Ministry. It's all very cloak and dagger, very court intrigue, and I love it. And I would love that for us as an expansion, as a story, as a standalone kind of set piece for us to dive into the machinations and the Machiavellian happenings of Queen Jenna's court, with Lady Wee as kind of the player's guide into this dark James Bond-esque world of political intrigue, especially around the treaties with the Tsar. I would very much love a storyline with that, with Lady Wee, with Valletta as well, who is now in indentured servitude to Countess Anise, who is also a fantastic character who genuinely kicks some serious booty, especially Canax, my, just for the record, favourite character in the franchise. So yes, Lady Wee, woman of great side-eye and fantastic intrigue. Onto a dragon. I know that we've just said goodbye or good night to our sweet daughter Aurene, but there are dragons still in Tyria, the Saltspray dragons, and their kind of spiritual representative, Cunavang. So Cunavang is a fan favourite, especially an old school boomer Guild Wars player like me. I remember her from back in the day. Her character model has vastly improved since then. I'll put it side by side on the screen now. But I love the kind of symmetry between her and the player character. They have had a long, storied history, although longer in their case. They have been the companion, the champion to an ineffable power, one that they didn't fully understand, couldn't fully understand. They have discharged their duty with great honour, even to the end. I think Cunavang would be a great addition to the kaleidoscope of companions that we have had in Guild Wars 2, and I think that they would be unique in their ability to empathise and almost console the player character as they move forward with their life. They're really at the same point. They have worldly duties, but their primary purpose has gone. Cunavang's with the death of Suan, our purpose gone with the slumber of Aurene. And I would love to have a narrative built around the exploration and perhaps revival of the Saltspray dragons. And the writers could build an entire society, lore, mythos around these beautiful, enigmatic creatures that the player could explore, and I would absolutely love that. So fingers crossed that Cunavang comes back into our lives and we get to explore and enjoy the beauty of the Saltspray dragons reinvigorated, not just as bosses on a meta map. That would be fantastic. Onto a fan favourite, Zephyra, priestess of Balthazar, or formerly priestess of Balthazar, a Zaishan, a former Hamasine. I enjoyed her narrative in Path of Fire, so let's just talk about that for a second. So who is Zephyra? If you kind of ran through the story of Path of Fire really quickly, and you're happy for me to spoiler the holy heck out of this, well, her life began in Vabi. Her parents were devotees of the human gods, but in the shadow of Palawa Joko, yeah, you can imagine how fun their lives were. So they sent their daughter to the Amnoon Oasis. They sent her on a journey alone when she was old enough, and they thought that she would survive. She was already a proficient shot with her mother's rifle, but she could not in her journeys get past the bone wall. So she found herself starving and desperate in the desolation, whereupon one of Zalambur's Hamasine took pity on her / took advantage of the young girl and her prowess with a rifle and offered her a bargain. She would get the girl across the wall, past the bone wall of Palawa Joko to freedom, but the cost would be her working for the Hamasine. And she did. She took the devil's bargain, and she would become a prominent figure in the Hamasine, the kind of the hand of death of Zalambur, and she killed Awakened, and she hunted prey, and she would hunt her fellow Alonians at Zalambur's behest. However, she was an empty vessel. The trauma, the hell of her youth under a tyrannical undead lich, and her ill-fated flight to freedom, and then the pact that she made with Zalambor, also another one of my favourite characters, it kind of hollowed her out emotionally. And on one of the many tasks given to her by Zalambor, she encountered an order of Zaician priests. One of them saw the greatness within her. She had enormous martial prowess with her rifle, and the priest recognised it as a gift from Balthazar himself. And at first she rejected that notion, but the more time she spent with them as she ferried and guarded the priesthood on their way across Alona, the more she realised that the fire inside her was divine, and she would abandon Zalambor, join the Zaician order, and become a priestess of Balthazar. And unfortunately, when Balthazar returned, she did not get the gracious great god that she had envisioned. She got a broken, vengeful husk of a man, and although she followed him, she could see the truth that he had fallen both in power but also in spirit. And when we defeated him, she decided that we would be the rock upon which she perished. She would either kill us and take vengeance, or she would die herself. And when we didn't give her her good, honourable death, and instead offered her the hand of friendship, hope, perhaps, that changed the course of her life. And she would go on to aid us and be an implacable ally against Kralkatorrik, and she would see the power of her god reborn in Aurene. And now I want to know, what is she doing? Who is she now? Is she still leading an order of Zaicians, except now they are dedicated to Aurene? Is she guarding Aurene as she sleeps? I would love to explore a story centered around her, wherever that may take us. Perhaps even to the homeworld of the true gods, of the human gods, shepherded by Paither, with Zafira at the helm, as we explore the mist realm that was the humans' original homeworld. That would be fantastic. I guess this is just a wish list for all the expansions that I want to play in Guild Wars 2, but let's just go with it. Okay. So we've had Lady Wee, we've had Zafira, we've had Cunavang, we've had Paither, and last but by no means least, we come to Saya al-Rashid. Yes, we're going there. So, if you do not know, spoilers ahead for the personal story, which is the first story that you play in Guild Wars 2, Saya al-Rashid is a Lagos. She is a Lagos of Tathios houses, whatever the heck that means. She is a hunter in the style of the Predator, rather than a traditional predator that we find on our planet. So big cats, anything that hunts in a pack, they generally do not pick the strongest specimens to take down. They will go for the weak, the old, the infirm. That's who predators prey on. And it's a good evolutionary strategy. The weaker the prey, the less likely you are to be injured. However, the Lagos do not seek prey for sustenance, they seek a challenge. They seek to prove themselves, Klingon style, in battle. Today is a very good day to die ethos. And Saya al-Rashid is a member of an entire race of people who have this archetype. Now, I would love a Lagos dedicated expansion. I would love to explore the culture, the history, the aquatic cities and outposts of these people. What do they look like without their masks on? Are they all hunters? Do they have artisans? Are there artists? What is the house structure? What is the story? What is the palace intrigue of these people? I want to know it all. I want to understand them. I want to immerse myself in that culture. It is very appealing to me. Let me know if you would like a Lagos dedicated expansion in the comments below. I think that more Lagos means great Guild Wars 2. I'm feeling that might be the consensus, although I could be just projecting my own desires here, but hey, this is my list. And I will say that I think that the devs have not completely forgotten the Lagos, because we do see a number of Lagos, not only in the raids, the twin Lagos, which I have tanked, and that was amazing, and there are Lagos about the world, one is a hero point, and there are Lagos in the Astral Ward as well. So they are not a completely forgotten race. So there is hope that one day the writers might bless us with a story following Saya about the Lagos. One day, maybe. And unfortunately, she is the last. That is my, not necessarily 5 favourite female characters, but 5 characters who I want stories about. I want to understand them. Fingers crossed one day we will. Let me know which characters you would like to explore. What plot threads have been left unpulled that you would like to rabbit hole down. And whilst you're down there, please do like this video, subscribe for more content, show some love to my wondrous patrons who keep me up and running and have been really gracious during my convalescence. I've just had an operation and I'm recovering, and they've been very sweet, just been asking me to recover, and I'm on the mend, and looking forward to being fighting fit in January. And thank you again to Roy for sponsoring the video, and Rook for picking the topic, and bonne chance to Extra Life, who raise money for fantastic children's charities and hospitals. We love you. We'll see you again next year, and hopefully I'll be making a couple more of these videos. But until next time, please stay safe, stay awesome, and thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.